Why not? Because our veterans, our only people we serve, deserve nothing less than the standard for health care to be found at the VA, not looking at somewhere else and asking why. We are going to continue to make sure you are taken care of. Woo! Woo! Now, I can count some blessings and I can count some successes, and I will continue to do so. I will have to say, though, this does bring me back to my old Southern Baptist pastor days.
Great.
I have the congregation and I have the choir. Please rise and get to turn to number 464 in your hymnal. We're going to sing that.
Not funny.
You know, when we look at what we can do and I count those blessings, and how many days do we not do that? I think about so many times, my bride is here, my wife Lisa is here, and she's kept me going for 37 years and is with it. And I think about in our life how many times we don't count our blessings. And I have my staff who tell me, Doug, he said, we're glad, they come in secretary, they call me Doug, and they say, Doug, look at these and good things, are we not celebrating? I said, we're not celebrating. I don't do a good job celebrating because there's always what's to come. What's next? We've made it here, can we make it further? So let's just for a moment pause for the first 6 months and talk about some good things. One of the things that we've done on the VHA side, our healthcare side, is just in the past couple of weeks, we took your referrals to community care and lengthened them in 30 more specialties from 6 months to 1 year so we can have better continuity of care and not have to keep going back and forth to get you what you need to get. Now there's going to be more to that, and I'm getting to it, and for some of you already know that, well, if the doctor wants to do something else, I got to run back to the VA. Don't worry, I'm on it. We're going to make a system that where our VA healthcare is the world-class model that it is, but we're also going to be in partnership where you would want your healthcare in the community and make sure that if the VA is paying for it, then by gosh, it's going to be the best that you can get, and we're going to hold them accountable to it. Now, something else that we looked at with community care is we decided also, and I was hearing from a lot of you, and I was in Congress when we passed the choice. I was in Congress when we passed the Mission Act. I've been in Congress when Congress tries to do what Congress does, and I was there and we were doing everything, but we always in Congress sometimes tend to overemphasize things that we can measure, and I call it the big color crayon issue because in Congress, and some of you are laughing because I can't talk about them because I was one, we like big color crayons and we like small paper. Can I get an amen from my Marines again? There we go. And so it's easy to measure stuff. So we want to measure wait times and how long was it getting done and these kind of things. You know what it is? If we offer and tell you that if you need community care service and you want a community doctor, then we looked at it and you said, you know what, we're still going to have those, that's what the law says, but we're also going to add best medical interest so that you and your doctor can decide what is best for you. And if that means staying in the VA, you get to stay at the VA, and if that means going to find a doctor, best medical interest overrides it and sends you to the doctor that you need to be at. That's just it. That's an easy way to look at this. You as the veteran deserve the choice, and we're going to give it to you. Now, at the same point, I'm also challenging all of our hospitals. I'll tell you a funny story. It's funny. It wasn't funny for me, it wasn't funny for them. About a month ago, we had a big meeting in Dallas. Now, the funny part was I had all of our hospital directors, all your VAMC directors, and all your vision leadership come in to Dallas, Texas, and we told them they were coming in to discuss what's going on, and they were getting their training, and just different stuff that's going on. What we didn't tell them was that I was coming. And amazingly enough, and for those of you who've been around Washington long enough, we'll get this next segment, it did not leak that I was coming. At the VA, we do not leak, we're an open sieve. And so we get there in Dallas, and they all come in, they get their meal, they do their Pledge of Allegiance, they do their national anthem, and then all of a sudden the voice of God behind the scenes said, and please welcome to the stage the 12th Secretary of Veterans Affairs. You could have heard a pin drop.
The voice of God, huh?
And half of them got up, and half of them said, do I stand up? Do I not get up? I don't know what to do. I spent 2.5 hours explaining my heart to where I want to see them grow and where I want them to take care of you. And when they left with these messages. Number one, their senior leaders act like it. Don't keep putting off things that you can do then. I told them, everyone, in your own facilities, if you have issues, fix them now. For those of us who've been in the military, what level do you fix problems? At the highest or the lowest? Lowest level. And I have center directors thinking that they had to wait on the high from DC to do something. Oh, do your job. You're a senior leader. That was the first thing that I said to do. If it gets to my desk, it better have billion-dollar implications and better be worth my time. And I don't mean that arrogantly. I mean it honestly. We've got to get back to the management system within the VA. And so for 2.5 hours, I reminded them of one thing. Number one, motion causes friction and change is never easy. And that's true. And over the past few months, we've had a lot of change. Now, some of those changes have been understood, some have not been misunderstood, but I'm not going to stand before you and tell you that what we're doing is something I wouldn't do over. Because we've had, as I shared in Washington, D.C. 6 months ago, we've had one pattern that we've looked at, and that was Washington telling you, the veterans, Washington telling you, the veterans, what is best for you. We've had a lot of, we're going to put more money and more people, and then really if it makes it better or it doesn't make it better, it's okay, because next year we'll just put something and more money and more people at it. What we found is that wasn't working because your wait times were going up, your backlogs were getting deeper, and we wasn't moving. So yes, we did have a look, as the President asked us to change the structure and the force of the VA. But I'm here to tell you also that riff is now over. We're not doing any more of our reduction in force. In fact, we were able to accomplish it, although contrary to popular opinion and what people talk about me in the media, we fired no one to get there. This was done through voluntary early retirement or separation for those who wanted to go somewhere else and through attrition. And we did so while still protecting 350,000 plus positions in our hospitals and our VA disability benefits and also in our NCA to make sure that if they're working with our veterans, that those continuity of care is there. Last few months, as I've been getting the reports, the wait times across the VA and our hospitals has went down in most areas. Our mental health has dropped almost 22 days for referrals during this same time. And also, here's you a good one for many of you who've dealt with this for years. The disability backlog claim was at 260,000 when I spoke to you in February. I'm here to tell you that it's just above 160,000 today, less than 6 months later of 125 days. We're doing what we said we would do. I come to this place saying, I'm on your side. I come to this place saying, I want the same values as all of our VSOs, and especially DAV has wanted, and that is to get honest assessment of your disability claims, this honest assessment of your health care, and making sure that you can do it yourself. I have a goal that in my heart, there should be no veteran, and I mean this, and this may make you uncomfortable, so I'm glad you're all sitting. This may make you uncomfortable, but I think it should be true. There should not be a veteran who has served this country, who has earned the benefits of the VA, that has to go to anybody, anywhere to get the veteran services that they've earned. It should be simple enough and easy enough that they can put it together and get what you have already earned. We've got to make it simpler to earn and do the benefits that you have. Putting out forms that we don't need. I don't need your military history. Just tell me your name, your social security number, your DD-214. Guess what? I can find your military history. I don't need for you to continue to fill out forms over and over. By the way, we're looking at your health claims. Why do I have to go back and look at claims and then say, well, we didn't get this piece of paper in, but it still says in the medical record that your benefit should have been awarded. You know what? We're going to start looking at it now, and we're going to go straight to the medical record instead of doing a lot of things. We're doing it by our electronic, we're doing it by AI, we're doing it by people looking at it and saying, how can we make this better? I only have one goal and one desire, is to make our veterans' life easier for the benefits that you've already earned, and I hope you can get along and help me with do that. Because in our society today, we like control. From my desk, I only have one control, and that's the veteran. I only have one thought. This doesn't make our veterans' lives easy. Because now for the next few minutes, and I can talk about the things we've done, but frankly, you can read that. I'll send you a paper. I'm going to spend the next few minutes sort of outlining Daniel, what you and others have wanted for this organization, but also I want for all those who served with me. I want a rebirth in how we look at the veteran population in our country. I'm tired of the veteran population in our country feel like that they have to go and beg or borrow and get what they've already earned. I'm tired of the veteran population, and many times out there in public when they come up and they tell us thank you for your service because they don't know what else to say, I'd rather them say thank you for keeping us free, thank you for raising your right hand, thank you for doing what we would not do. We are thankful that you went and did it. I'm ready for veterans to stand up and be proud of what they have done. No longer do I want to see veterans being portrayed as a victim or being portrayed as somebody who can't do it. You are powerful, you are strong, your disability does not define you, you define you, and you have a secretary who believes in you.
Yeah, he thinks he's a preacher.
I need your help.
No
I don't
prepared
want
remarks.
anybody looking down on us. I don't want anybody to take our families and our friends, our caregivers in this room and feeling sorry for us. No, we have the greatest country in the world. We raised our right hand. Our families, in essence, raised their right hand. And this is the VA that says the VA is no longer about a group of 450,000 people. It is 450,000 people committed to one thing and one thing only, to taking care of the greatest people in this world. And you represent them. So I'll take the heat.
Fuck you.
I'll take the comments. If you really want to know cute ones, go read my comments on all my social media. My wife still loves me and my Shih Tzu thinks I'm a pretty good dog dad, so I'm okay. But I will never let, and for some of you who've noticed this, I will never let Congress, the media, or anyone else lie about the VA or in any way do anything to our veterans without having to answer to me first. I'm tired of the day that the VA is the whipping post. I'm tired of the day that we're just going to blame it all and say, oh, the VA did this, we'll fix it. No, I'm ready for leaders and elected leadership to stand up and help us do what we need to do, and that is to take care of veterans and quit blaming other things and get together and say what is best for the veteran, and that is our only standard. So yeah, I'm going to fight for you. We'll agree and we'll disagree. But ain't that what a family's for? I have one brother. Sometimes he wishes he was an only child, but that's okay. I'm the oldest. They were so happy with me, they had him, so that's what I tell them. But you know, David and I don't always get along. You don't always get along. In your units, when you were back in service, you didn't always get along, but you know what? If somebody picks on David, they picked on me. And we as a group together have to start encouraging each other. And our organizations come together. You have my commitment that my heart is right, my intentions are good, and that I will do anything we can under the statute, and where statute needs to be changed, I will try to fix it. But you're going to see more and more things that the VA change. You're going to see more and more things of policy and regulation that when they come to me and they say, this is what we're doing, I tell them why. And if they can't answer me why, they better look to start understanding that we're going to change some stuff. Because if we're doing it just for our own sake, then those days are over. Because when I look at this, I look at this as 4 years under President Trump, who gave me the ability to do this, who wants an economy for everybody, who wants to rise all ships. But when he told me he did one thing, he said, Doug, go take care of my veterans. I took it very seriously. That's my one standing order. Take care of veterans. And so I'm not wed to a system that I grew up in. I'm not wed to an organization that I deeply love, and there's not a VA employee that I will not defend when they're doing their job right. There's also not a VA employee that I will not hold accountable when they're not doing their job right. Because it's not about us. It's not about a jobs program. It's about a service organization that says our one and only mission is you. So you're the grassroots. You have leadership that's amazing. But I need you to go back into your communities, and I need you to help me. I need you to find other veterans who may have been left aside. Other veterans who don't have the community and family that you have here at this convention. Because we're still losing too many of our sons and daughters every day to those who see no light at the end of the tunnel, who have decided that no longer what they served and what they committed to serve is enough for them. They feel alone, they feel desperate, and they are taking their own lives in numbers that are unsustainable and not sustainable, in my opinion. I'm right now doing a complete rewrite of our suicide prevention program. I'm doing a complete rewrite of how we're spending money. And we're going to everywhere we can, every nook, every cranny, every dark alley, to find every veteran we possibly can and say, please understand that your service is valuable and that we're not going to let over 60% of the people who are taking their life by suicide have never been touched with the VA. I will not sleep until that number changes, but I need your help. I need you to reach out to your battle buddy. I need you to reach out to your wingman. I need you to make sure that you're contacting those around you. Because without your help,
He thinks he's a preacher.
don't complain about what's happening if you're not helping. Don't complain about the number if you haven't reached out to somebody who needs a cup of coffee, or just a phone call, or maybe a text. I commit to you right here on this stage that my job will always be to look forward. I will look forward to how we can help our veterans. I will look forward to how we can make the VA the most efficient organization it possibly can be and be the standard, as Randy and I were talking about backstage, be the standard of healthcare in this country. And our benefits will be one in which you are helped and not always as I heard when I first came in, what do you get at the VA? No. Guess what? I don't deal with no if we can get the yes. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that happens. And for our cemeteries, we're going to make sure that dignity still prevails and that your families are there and they're taken care of. So for me, thank you for listening. For me and my family and the family at the VA, we only have one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to serve you. That is to make sure our veterans get what they have earned. I tell this all the time, you know, see the press's face when I say this. I tell them I'm tired of hearing what veterans are given. I'm tired of hearing about what veterans have been given. I remind them every day, the veteran is not given anything. The veteran has earned every bit of it.